Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm excited to show you guys how I get my foundation and my makeup to last all day long and to keep it smooth and flawless and not caking up, especially around the nose, your smile lines, and your eyes. So I kind of realized, and I'll probably say it again because I didn't really realize it at first, that a lot of the products I'm using today are Maybelline. It's just a brand that I have liked for a long time, and I think that they've been really stepping up their game. But if you have any products that you like that are different, please let me know in the comment section. I like to try out different looks and different foundations. It's one of the things I'm kind of obsessed with beyond, well, it's okay, be honest, I'm kind of obsessed with like all makeup, but I really have liked these products that I'm going to be using today, and I've used them several times in the past, and some of them are my daily go-tos. But I really wanted to share with you guys how I get my makeup to last all day long. I work an 8 to 5 kind of job where I can't go home and touch up, and even though I carry some stuff with me in my bag, I don't really have time to add powder or touch up. So I really want to make sure that my makeup lasts me all day long. And it really doesn't start, you know, go withering away, I guess I could say, with time and with any sweat that I may have if it gets too hot or if my skin gets too dry. How I take care of my skin in the morning to make sure that I have a smooth canvas, and how I really get it to look flawless. I'm not one of those that I'm just going to cake it on and I am going to leave it and quit it. I want to make sure that it's done right the first time, and a lot of people I know kind of struggle with getting it to last forever or finding the products that's right for them. So make sure you do your research on those first, but I'm going to share with you the products that I have found work really well for me. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take care of my skin. So as you guys probably already know, skincare is actually one of the most important steps of makeup. You want to make sure you're protecting your skin both from sun and from damage and from the makeup itself, because it can tend to clog up the pores. So if you don't take care of the skin, you're not having a very clean canvas, and thus the makeup is not going to be as smooth and clean as you want it to be. So I've already washed my face and applied some makeup other than face makeup. And then I'm going to go in with my moisturizer. So this one is the Shiseido mattifying moisturizer. It's oil free. So I got this one from my last haul with Marshalls and TJ Maxx. I can't remember exactly which place I got it from, but I will link the video down below. And I got it there, one, because it was less expensive, but I like the fact that it was mattifying and oil free. As you guys probably heard from other videos, if you've been following me thus far, I have really sensitive skin, so I have to be very careful with my moisturizer and really all skin products, just because I will break out really easily if I don't have the right stuff, especially if it is an oil-based product. So this one is not, and I do like the fact that it is mattifying. So I'm just going to put this all over my face. Another thing you want to do, especially if you are a little bit older, no offense to you guys, but if you are a little bit older, you want to make sure you're applying eye cream, especially to your under eyes and your outer eyes, simply because that is one where you're going to show the most age. And also you want to make sure it's really nice and hydrated and moisturized before you put on your makeup, because it's going to create a lot of creasing and a lot of cakiness, and it's just going to make your foundation not quite as flawless and long lasting as we are hoping. So once I have let my moisturizer set in for a little while, I want to make sure it's nice and soaked up into my skin, and really letting the skin take the time to do that step first before going in with my primer, which I'm going to be using next. And I'm using the Benefit POREfessional primer for this one. Also, I realized as I started gathering up the makeup that I'm going to use for this video today, a lot of it is largely Maybelline. So if you're not a Maybelline fan, I'm sorry. And there are plenty of other products from different brands that you can use. This is just apparently what I grabbed for this video. But really you can use any primer, any foundation that you like. I recommend you doing some research before picking out a product, because if you have dry skin, you're going to use different products than oily skin. If you want a matte look, you're going to use different products than if you want more of a dewy look. So just really do the research, play around, figure out what you guys like, and then do, you know, find that product that works for you. Today I'm going to go with a little bit of a dewy look, not crazy dewy. So that's why I'm starting out with my matte products and then going in with a more luminescent type foundation that's not super matte. For me, if you want the more natural look, you want something that's not going to be so stinking matte that it just is flat. If you do have a product that is more matte than you like, I can show you later. The setting spray is really going to help you with that look and kind of let it soak into the skin and let it really absorb, rather than just looking kind of caked on and powdery. I'm just lightly going in with my finger and just tapping it in because I'm not really wanting to smear it out. Like I said, same with the green on my blemishes and where I have redness. And you really want to use a yellow or an orange depending on if your under eyes are more purple or blue. For blue you want to use more orange, for purple you want to use yellow, because those are the opposite colors on the color spectrum, and that's how you're really going to counteract. So next I'm going to finally get to my foundation, and today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation that is the Dewy and Smooth foundation with sunscreen. This is for normal to dry skin, which is pretty much exactly what I am depending on the day, and that's also why I use the moisturizers to help counteract that dry skin, make things nice and smooth. So I'm just going to go in with my foundation brush and not slightly, but start just brushing this out. When you do your foundation with a brush, make sure you're starting out in the center and brushing out, because typically the areas we have the most concern are actually in the center of our faces. So that's where we want to start out with our product and brushing it out, making sure not to use too much product. If you use too much, then it's gonna look cakey, simply because your makeup doesn't really have anywhere to go if you put too much on, because it's already being used to cover up your face. So if you got the excess, it's just gonna sit on top of your skin without actually being absorbed in or blended out. So I've zoomed you guys in so you can see a little bit better of my actual skin. So I'm letting it kind of soak in right now before going in with concealer. To me, that's one of the most important steps, is taking a second between each step to really let it kind of soak into the skin and not just overwhelm your skin by how much product you're putting on, because it's when you put on too much and you just keep piling it on and piling on without kind of letting your skin take it one step at a time, that's when you're going to start getting a lot of that cakiness. So as I'm talking to you, I'm letting it kind of set in, and I did focus a little bit more on those areas where I have blemishes, just to kind of make sure that they are hidden, more so than, of course, just being blindingly red in your face. So once I have applied the foundation, make sure it is all blended in and smoothed out, because you don't want splotches here and there. Just make sure, whether you're using a brush or a beauty blender, whatever it is, just make sure it's all nice and smooth. Then you're going to go in with your concealer, and again, told you guys a lot of Maybelline today. I'm using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm just going to apply that right underneath my eyelids, just to again highlight those areas, lighten up those dark circles, a little bit on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. I'm going to go in and blend those out as well. I am using a little bit bigger of a brush than what a lot of people say is their concealer brush, and for me, the reason I'm doing that is because not only does it let the colors blend from when I use this brush for the foundation and make it look a little bit smoother, but it makes sure that I am blending everything out smoothly. When you use a smaller brush, sometimes you just kind of get those streaky lines, and it doesn't just kind of create a soft look, and that's really what I want. I don't want there to be any difference in color really that you can tell I don't want there to be any major differences in the skin. I just want it to be nice and smooth, especially with the area where I'm applying the concealer, so I'm just using my normal foundation brush. And once I have the concealer all well blended out and smooth, we're gonna go in with what is honestly one of my absolutely favorite steps of putting on my makeup, and that is using my translucent powder to set the concealer. And I'm using the Maybelline Masterfix loose setting powder. Looks like that. I like this setting powder because it is translucent, and you know, it is a very soft, very fine powder. My only really dislike about it is that it does poof up like that. It does. And and you get a lot of product out through the sifters. So, you know, I do have my Makeup Forever, which I do like, and I also have an Inglot one, which I like, but I really, you know, I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling this one lately. So now I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes under my under eyes and let it really kind of do what we call baking in. I'm sure you guys already knew that. But we really want to make sure we give it time again to soak it up. Let this in again, soak it up, because it's going to soak up that moisture. It's going to create a nice matte finish. It's going to make your skin look nice and soft, because a lot of times when you skip this step after doing your concealer and foundation, that's when you get the cakey look, because there's nothing kind of blending it out, making it softer, soaking up that moisture, and just sits on top of the skin. So this really helps create a smoother look, and it also lets the makeup lasts longer, and it avoids the creasing underneath your eyes and your face. So to me, it's one of my favorite steps and one of the most important. If you don't like this step, or if you don't like any of these steps, that's totally fine. I'm just letting you know how I do my makeup and how I get it to last throughout the entire day when I'm working or when I'm out on the weekends. Whatever I'm doing, I want to make sure it's gonna last. So we sit and we sit, listen to some music. I don't know, do what you guys want to do while you sit. If you haven't already done your eye makeup or your lips, do that. I've already done them, so I'm just gonna sit. So now that I've let that sit in for a while, I'm gonna take one of my big fluffy brushes and just use that to blend out and brush away the excess powder. I'm not just brushing it off my face, I'm actually using a little bit of the excess powder to cover the rest of my face, to make sure that I'm covering everything, keeping everything soft, and keeping the look very very seamless. I don't want there to be parts where it's matte and then parts where on the outside where I didn't put the powder that are a little bit more dewy, and just want to use the excess, not putting on any more, to cover my rest of my face. Now that I am done throwing my brushes around, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Master Color contour kit, and I'm going to use this to contour, to add blush, and to highlight, of course, and then I'll be back to show you my last step. I have bronzed and contoured and blushed and highlighted and all that good fun stuff. I'm going to go in for my very last step, and that is to use my setting spray. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Up All Nighter setting spray. I love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. I just have my little travel one here, but you know what? Just a few spritzes is all you want, or all you need. If you want a really dewy, kind of almost wet look, you can use more. If you just want a little bit to lighten up the powder and the cakiness that you shouldn't have if you did this right. But if you just wanted to add a little bit more of a natural look, or if you just want to make it last that much longer, use your setting spray. Not only is it going to give you that strong difference in the finish, but it's also going to make your makeup last a lot longer. So I'm just going to kind of let that dry, and that's it. That is the final step, and this is how I get my makeup to last me at least those 9 hours, 8-hour long days while I'm at work, when I'm out on the weekend and I want to look flawless all day long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you go, to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the wonderful videos that I have got coming up. But in the meantime, I know it'll be past the 4th of July by the time I post this. But I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.